Hello everyone, my name is Mitz, and here we are back at Higurashi When They Cry. So, as last episode, everyone managed to get through the entirety of the festival completely unscathed, which makes complete sense since this is literally just shaping up to be a parallel to the very first installment of Onikakushi, but this time, Reina is the one that actually talks to Oishi and learns that Tomotaki is dead and Miyuta has gone missing. There's nothing, no mention of her body being found so far, and Marina actually managed to talk to Mia before she very much just went missing entirely and got her notebooks, which technically means that Mio has talked to everyone in the friend group except for Sadako. She might have talked to Rika, which makes sense, but not Sadako. But don't leave her out of this. Don't let her be the fucking outsider in their own group, okay? Mio, talk to her at some point, please. It might not be actually good, actually, thinking about it, because Sadako kind of blames some of the curse on her own stuff because of it, but don't get left in the dark even to that extreme, but it's part and parcel. But since Reina has all of Mio Takano's notebooks from the conspiracy knowledge, she's gonna look into, I guess, the conspiracy itself and reevaluating everything of her time experiencing Yashiro-sama. It's definitely meant to be heavily implied from the looks of it that she's combining both her old fear from Hinamizawa as a kid about don't leave Hinamizawa or you get cursed and when she did meet Oyashiro-sama, it was the one time she forgot to take a pill that usually dulled her senses, and then she had that whole quote unquote epiphany or hallucination about Oyashiro-sama, which is oddly coincidental, honestly. Oddly coincidental. But it's kind of just curious to see exactly where she can go from here, honestly, because it feels like she just has the same exact resource that Keiichi had. Honestly. Maybe she actually knows and maybe talk to Shion and and maybe oh god, good god, oh no, I forgot his name right now. No, oh, I feel so bad, man. He needs more screen time. God damn it, I'm forgetting his name already. No, no. That other guy, the Great Tai. That guy. About homing ability and homesickness. If you interpret homing ability in a broad sense, consider that most animals have a homing ability. Like radar, just like they can, I guess, sense or intuit that food is that way, prey is that way, or just where we need to go is this direction, just because. The same with humans. We like to sleep, rest, and eat at a place where we feel comfortable, namely our homes. Okay, you're talking about just general vibes, technically speaking. I don't know what a biological way to put vibe is in a more scientific manner, but that's the way I'm going with it. Vibes, aesthetic, or anything like that, apparently. Oh boy. Your home is to you what nests are to animals. Therefore, we can say that humans have a homing ability as well, a nest egg. First of all, why do animals need nests? For shelter. The answer is the same as for humans. Sleeping, resting, and eating are the essential actions for survival. At the same time, those actions leave one defenseless as well. That's why you need a safe area where you can be defenseless. Everybody knows that not having this safe area results in a high level of stress, yes. When you move an animal to a new environment, it naturally becomes stressed. Yeah, and then you have to just that's the sort of thing of when you move out to a dorm room or anything like that. It's gonna take a bit of adjusting just to make you feel at ease and honestly like that. What was that? Took an entire year, honestly, or just several months straight just to feel fine in my room, and even still, then even before I moved back away, it was just still anxiety inducing. Like I mentioned before, the whole dorm building was completely suffocating. When you move an animal to a new environment, it naturally becomes stressed. When you force a person to live in a foreign land where they aren't comfortable, they become greatly stressed as well. Everybody also knows this kind of stress is also called homesickness, basically. The Japanese don't know much about homesickness. We define it as mental weakness, and we neglected to treat it for a long period of time. Okay. However, homesickness has a very long history. In Europe's Middle Ages, people believed that it wasn't a mental, but rather a physical disease. People also believed that out of everyone, the Swiss got the disease the most. The Swiss, you see, were known to be an ethnic group that worked away from home in that era. They lived far away from their homes. There were no telephones at that time, so they couldn't even hear their families' voices for ages and ages. It's easy to imagine the young Swiss workers got homesick while working in a strange land. These Swiss who got homesick wanted to go home, but they couldn't because of their jobs. The conflict made them weak physically and mentally. Some of them went crazy and tried to escape from their reality by committing suicide or running away. The Swiss at the time were very superstitious, and many folk remedies and occult-like treatments to prevent homesickness went around. Since going home was the only treatment, they must have called it a fatal disease. But it isn't really one, of course. Specifically, homesickness is a sign of the human homing instinct. Your brain desires to go back to your safe area, namely, your home. At first, your brain makes you remember the happy memories of your home, and it urges you to go home in a natural way. And when reason stops you from achieving your desire, your brain starts sending unnatural signals to your body. As a result, your body gets weak, and that makes it more difficult for you to live in a strange land. In the end, you have to bend reason in order to achieve your desire to go home. So, homesickness is born from our homing instincts. The stronger one's homing instinct is, the stronger their homesickness. The strength of that homing instinct varies from individual to individual, and depends on the environment in which those individuals live. When your home is safe, and the environment you live in is dangerous, your homing instinct grows stronger. On the other hand, when the environment you live in is safer than your homing instinct becomes very weak. Safety isn't the only element that affects its strength. Cultural aspects affect it too. The many customs of demanding families return home for major events varies with each region, so your birthplace's culture also alters the strength of your homing instinct. So I guess if a culture like prioritizes them, traveling outside the whole wide world and making a name for yourself, something like that, I guess it's less stronger than, honestly, culturally then. Amongst those reasons, the transcendents of Onigashima Village are believed to have an excessively strong homing instinct. Yeah, from everything we learned from it, just combining with here, everything about the culture and the curse, honestly, if everyone, bring up those rumors up, is, everyone band together, and if you leave, then, you're practically just a stranger to us then. You literally just betrayed your entire hometown, basically, just by leaving, honestly. Yeah. The people of Onigashima forbade their fellows from ever leaving. Many believe this was the effect of the elitism and sense of purity I already mentioned before. People today still strongly believe that Oyashiro-sama puts his curse on you if you break his rule and abandon the village. This superstition can be interpreted as homesickness. If homesickness is directly proportional to one's homing instinct, then the exaggerated expression, curse, would signify the strength of homesickness, and also their homing instinct. I can assume that they hated the outside world and created an insular society precisely because of their powerful homing ability. Unfortunately, there's no way to measure the strength of the homing ability that the primitive people of Onigashima had. It was so strongly forbidden to leave the village that nobody left long enough to get homesick. However, at the Meijing area, things changed. I guess things became more lax, but still a bit strict, but still. The sacredness of Onigashima dwindled with the efforts of modernization. Many young people started longing for city life, and some people were forced to leave the village to get a job. As a result, villagers started venturing outside the village borders. That was when the transcendents of Onigashima realized how strong their homing ability was for the first time. The residents of Hinamizawa got extremely homesick. After a while, people started to call this homesickness the curse of Oyashiro-sama. It became rumored that a person who left the village to get a job in a strange land was cursed, that he went crazy and died, and people who left the village started coming back to either it or the nearby town. Their homesickness and their homing ability were very strong because of their culture. It's reasonable to think that these were cultivated by the unique religion in Hinamizawa, namely the cult of Oyashiro-sama. The moment they were born, they were taught the rules of Oyashiro-sama. They must have felt guilty about leaving the village unconsciously. As a result, they considered their homesickness to be the curse of Oyashiro-sama. This whole time, like, I'm just assuming this is still only Mio's like notebooks and all that. I'm not sure if their homesickness got stronger because of the rules of Oyashiro-sama, or if they made the rules of Oyashiro-sama because their homesickness got stronger. I don't know which came first. Again, it's really just tied to whether just thinking of him cult or more just about psychological factors, which really by this point it's like just part and parcel, honestly. Just people just assuming psychological effects be curse. That's basically what the whole story is anyway right now. Man, but man, still, don't throw away the whole demon backstory thing, please, again. I got tired of reading such small print and laid down on the floor on my back. The true identity of the curse of Oyashiro-sama is homesickness? Not entirely. That just that's where the feeling of the curse comes into play, I guess, technically speaking. But I don't know about killing someone in your hometown type of thing. That's something completely else. I guess you could say it's just people just ruining your own like I guess your own hometown and making it feel unsafe. So might as well just kill the source. That's basically scapegoating. That's literally what it is. Mio-san believed my story, and she let me read these scrapbooks. That's why I could find something interesting. But man, the curse is actually something about psychological warfare because I want to go back home. Man, I wanted something supernatural to happen. God damn it. What it's saying is that the answer to all of it is homesickness, which many doctors told me so many times at counseling. I'm a little upset. The word homesickness can explain the extraordinary experience I had. Not homesickness, but medically speaking, honestly. I saw Oyashiro-sama come down to me from a bright light in the bathroom. I mean, didn't you also mention before that you have a bright light even when you didn't take your meds and anything like that? I saw the dusky red nasty maggots come out of my blood vessels because you're hallucinating things. This scrapbook doesn't explain any of that. Well, of course not. They don't know anything about you. And literally, it's all talking about the cultural curse of anything like that. It doesn't talk about anything like doctorally or psychologically. Okay, doesn't matter up in itself. I don't understand how someone's gonna explain the cloud of maggots. I don't even know if she was trying to do that. Actually, top of my head, she just wanted you to know about the curse itself. But or literally just because like how she mentioned before, like she doesn't have a lot of people to talk to you about it. And like think like Raina might like notice something that she didn't, like start a new discussion and like some new idea or concept just think around, just to spark discussion, anything like that, and just talk about your hyperfixation. Maybe she didn't have any explanation of that to begin with. Was it just a delusion? I flipped through one of the other scrapbooks Miyo-san let me borrow, looking for explanation of the maggots I saw. And just hitting me right now that technically speaking, does that mean the police have never ever managed to touch Mio's notebooks, no matter what timeline it is so far? Because she always lends it out to someone in some way. When I guess I'm on the second installment, I guess actually no, I think that's the only time, because even though Mio gave Shion those notebooks to read through, she did give him back, and like we saw those notes anyway, like anything like that, and like Mio was found dead, anything else like that, or maybe the notebook itself were actually destroyed in that oil drum, maybe if like she had them on her when the victims came, and they were burned, and so it's either they're gone or the culprits stole them from her. So literally the police never will be able to read the notebooks until a certain ending, apparently, I guess. A certain scenario. Okay then. I flipped through one of the other notebooks, the scrapbooks Mio suddenly borrow, looking for an explanation to the maggots I saw. Then I found it. It had the exact title I was looking for. Maggots found in bloodstream. The truth revealed, just a clickbait article. About maggots and the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Huh. In the Meijing era, a group of villagers were on their way back to Hinamizawa. They started discussing a rumor about a weird disease. They said that maggots started crawling out of the wounds of a person who left Hinamizawa, and that the maggots ate that person's body from the inside. The Shinto priest of the Fruity Shrine at the time explained that the weird disease is a sign of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Okay. Oh, good God, please, like, Mia, please don't, like, let's, like, write down this, like, phenomenon, just, like, label it all to be just called, I guess, itself. Oh, good God. And she's a nurse, too! She's a nurse! She works at a doctor clinic. Oh my good God. According to tradition, the Shinto priest showed the villagers on an ancient scroll, and he told them that the story of the maggots had been passed down through the ages. This is what the scroll said. The world where the demons came from must be interpreted as the land of death, and the demons in that land of death had to live their lives while being eaten by maggots. Oh wow, nice. The villagers who are the demon's blood had nothing to worry about as long as they're in Hinamizawa under the protection of Yashiro-sama. But wouldn't technically the demons who are now living in Hinamizawa be homesick about, like, not having the maggots eating on them? They're so used to it, god damn it. Yeah, stupid. But once they left Hinamizawa, abandoning that protection, the maggots that had been sleeping in the blood of the demons would start to awaken. They eat their bodies from the inside out. My gosh, the bad vibes. They can sense the bad vibes. This is not a good area. Gotta eat your way out. Ah! This maggot disease scared the villagers for a while, and they asked the shrine to provide them with protective talismans whenever they had to leave the village on business. This is interesting, as it's similar to the way homesickness was dealt with by the Swiss in the Middle Ages. After the war started, the delusion of the maggot disease faded away, but they remained accustomed to send talismans to families that lived away from Hinamizawa. The talismans had the word maggot on them. But the most interesting part about all this is that the residents of Hinamizawa didn't know the maggot disease until the rumors began. I thought that their unconscious worship made those people think of homesickness as a curse. So this case of the previously unknown maggot disease directly contradicted the research had done so far. It's natural to think that the group of people who were on their way back to the village are lost in a mass delusion because they strongly believed in the curse, that's just mass hysteria stuff, and that the Shinto priests took advantage of their state of panic to instill a deeper faith in them. But I'm not fully convinced that it was merely a coincidence that this mass delusion matched the story in the old picture scroll. I wonder if it's possible to see maggots in a wound without having the prerequisite knowledge when a person is cursed by Oyashiro-sama. I wish Oyashiro-sama would put his curse on somebody I could study. Oh, good God. I'd love to see those maggots coming out of someone. I thought as if Mio-san was here making that request of me. Yay! Like, while you're talking to Mio about it, she's, like, writing a notebook, and what's slightly, would you let me do that to you, Reina? Oh my good God. That's okay. I remember. When she gave me the scrapbook, she said I might be the only one who could understand them. I felt good just for a moment then, because I found out that the maggots weren't a delusion. At the same time, I just don't make excuse that it was a delusion. The maggots weren't a delusion. They were there. What the fuck, Mio? All of a sudden, my wrists, elbows, inner thighs, and neck started itching. Exactly. Oh my good God. This is literally just, like, pretty much just triggering material, honestly, for her. I felt the urge to cut open a blood vessel, but I quietly held it down. I remember that Mio-san looked very serious when I talked about the maggots. I just thought it was creepy, but so did I. While I was crying because nobody believed me, a part of me didn't want to believe that my body was filled with those creepy things. I think part of me wanted to believe that it was a delusion, but now I know it wasn't. What the fuck is wrong with you, Mio? It wasn't a delusion. There are some people who had the same experience. Yeah, because it's like cited as like a phenomenon then for people who've been traumatized before. Maggots in the demon's blood will awaken when you lose protection of Oyashiro-sama. In other words, they may not awaken to the protection of Oyashiro-sama, but all the villagers still have the maggots in them without knowing it. People with the demon's blood are... people who have the creepy maggots in their bodies. No, I tried not to jump to conclusions and flip through the pages again. I unconsciously looked for something related to maggots. About parasites and control of the host. I feel like I have to read through all this over again, because I know for a fact I'm not everything is fully going to my brain right now for all this. There's like a whole bunch of information I need to parse through and just contextualize my brain right now. The maggot disease made me think about something. Is it possible to say that the extremely strong homesickness of Hinamizawa was an infectious disease caused by some kind of parasite? I'm not trying to connect the maggots they saw with parasites. I'm trying to think about the possibility their culture, their religion, might be associated with an infectious disease. Yeah, I can probably kind of see that. Many infectious diseases are caused unintentionally by parasites. A parasite's host is literally its home. Wow, the parasite is out of its home, then it's literally going to be homesick. It wants to live within the host's body for as long as it can. The best way to do that is to coexist with the host without the host knowing it. Just pay a rent without them let them know, apparently. But some parasites try to control their hosts and use them for posterity. Yay. Yeah, the cordyceps infection. Yeah, Last of Us, let's go. For example, some parasites have the ability to control their host, in order to force them to be eaten by a superior host. Okay. A typical example is the Dicrocelium dentatricum. It uses snails, or ants, as intermediate hosts, and it forces them to move to the upper side of vegetation so it's easier for a superior host to consume it. Spot and all that, yeah. I remember seeing, like, literally just some mushrooms, like, taking over ants, like, brains and all that, just to be spotted and just eating like that. It's literally just, like, one of the big, literal, like, inspirations from, the cordyceps infections in The Last of Us, honestly. One parasite that controls more complicated animals is called Toxoplasma gondii. It uses mice as intermediate hosts, the superior host being cats. This parasite makes a mouse lose its fear of cats in order to increase its chance of getting eaten, so the parasite can live within a cat instead. Yay. There are parasites that choose hosts at random. The rabies virus is commonly known for that. I do not know anything about rabies. Okay, this is going to be interesting. It lives and breeds in the brain of a host, and it moves into the host's saliva through the salivatory glands. Yeah, that's probably how the whole bite thing comes into play. That's actually probably where a lot of people, like, for zombie stuff actually got the whole idea about, like, the infection spreads from a bite, actually. It's all from, just, yeah. It makes the host extremely aggressive in order to make it bite things randomly, so that it can turn can move into another host through the saliva. That's what rabies does. Many parasites have a similar ability to control hosts to their benefit. The examples I used above are about parasites that move into other hosts to prosper. But I think there must be some kind of parasite that controls hosts in order to have a comfortable environment in which to live. I want to try to connect this theory to the abnormal homing ability and homesickness of the Onigafuchi residents. Let's say there's some kind of parasite that exists in Hinamizawa, and it lives within all the villagers' bodies. The parasite, Hinamizawa is the most comfortable environment to live in, so it gives the host a strong homing ability in order to make them stay in Hinamizawa. Very more summer side, countryside, and things like that, so, yeah. Furthermore, it caused the host to get homesick whenever they ignore this homing ability and try to leave. Parasites need hosts in which to survive. It's convenient for them if their hosts build a community in the environment where it feels comfortable. This theory makes it easier for me to explain the mysteries I described earlier. Man, so the whole demons thing also came about just because of parasites? Man, that's less fun, honestly. It's less fun. The transcendents of Onigafuchi knew about the existence of this parasite. They knew that, as hosts of the parasites, they couldn't live outside the village. That's why they created a culture and rules that prohibited contact with the outside world. Yay, some don't get rid of the parasites living in your body. No, live with them. It also explains why people acted so abnormal during the dam conflict, or so they just, normal culture, actually. Just, it makes sense what you're trying to say here, but it also could be just, that whole thing. We're now going against them, biological stuff, now it's psychological stuff, which is true, which is it, versus it's now not even just god damn it, just like mental illness versus curse thing. It's now literally a battle between which science of the human body, whether it's brain or body itself, is true or right. Oh my good god. So the demons that came out of the swamp in the legend of Oyashiro-sama can be interpreted as the mass spread of the parasite. Man. So that's why our parents say, just take yourself to take that to you, you go into the woods. Okay then. And they emerge in the swamp then. Oh my gosh, you can. Would that technically mean the gas that came from the swamp is also a technical parasite then? It just rejected the offering Keiichi made from a pure metal motorbike and wanted something more organic. Okay, okay, okay. The story about the demons attacking the villagers must be a metaphor for the behavior of the infected villagers, who are controlled by the parasite. This theory is too crazy. I should have just laughed about it. I felt bad for Mio-san, so I decided not to continue going down and reading the conspiracy theory rabbit holes. Hinamizawa is controlled by a parasite? I mean, you could use that theory to explain how the maggots came out of me. I felt a little bit dizzy. I was so confused, and a part of me thought it was ridiculous. Another part of me thought it was more convincing than any curse. Yeah, this is literally just conspiracy theories 101 stuff. Oh boy. The whole flat earth theories stuff and all that. Oh good god, oh good god. But Mio-san was probably erased because she wrote these scrapbooks. If so, the contents of these scrapbooks must be something that they can't ignore. They try to get all her scrapbooks and consign them to oblivion. What if they notice some of her scrapbooks are missing? I felt a chill running down through my spine. I had to keep it a secret that I have these scrapbooks then. Yay. And then to try to understand more about their contents. I'm getting reminded of another reason why my conspiracy theories are a big thing is because like for some people, like it makes them feel smarter and like tries like they boast to other people. That's like what I consistently heard about people like believing conspiracy theories. And anytime someone like like challenges that perception, it feels like it wouldn't feel like those people are challenging their own intelligence, and they reject that and like double down the conspiracy theories even more. So it's kind of almost an endless cycle too. Oh boy. Getting reminded again of when some people's illusions are very big, that's sometimes probably easier to literally just follow along with what they say, and honestly, I'm not exactly try to like forcibly rip them out of their like new consigned reality. I even heard that like there's even that in like some medical fields. I think honestly, just if you can't really solve it just by brute forcing it, then you might as well just for this time being until you think of a better solution, just let them comfortably live in that delusion for a bit until you can find a way to ease them out of it, honestly. I remember Mio-san told me that the three families are behind the series of mysterious deaths. I don't buy it, and that they're trying to resurrect the cult of Oyashiro-sama. According to the theory I just read, the parasite must be trying to maintain the current environment of Hinamizawa. Or honestly, literally, the parasite is analogous to people just like already like for generations already finding a good prosperous bit of land and making their whole like livelihood around it, and when the government basically decided to try to remove that livelihood and try to force people out, that would just be the ultimate thing of homesickness, and the injustice of basically having all your everything your way of life being upended and pushed aside somewhere else just to fend for yourself. There's just that. So yeah, no. The healthiest environment for it is a completely closed village, just like the primitive Onikafuchi. The healthiest environment. Well, I don't know about completely closed, but like for a parasite, that technically wouldn't be like even outside environment stuff they would like want to like spread, honestly. Like just go the inelegant way, just like different countries want to spread like spread their manpower around them, control more and more land, have more and more power, that kind of thing. Like, why then would they just like? It makes sense to have parasites like living in a room which completely tailors of them, but why not like stretch outwards from there, but still have their home be there? Honestly, It must be very comfortable for the parasite if no hosts go out to the village. They don't even let the villagers often leave the village to go shopping. That means the parasite would try to goad the host into resurrecting the cult of Oyashiro-sama. That doesn't really explain about the people who are living inside? Because, like, I don't think a parasite in your brain is... Because the only way for all this to purely make sense, honestly, on some level, is the latest just the culture around a parasite like just grew to be this be this big to literally kill anyone who's like no, we gotta move out and all that and everything like that. But there's like still some people who died who we have not seen literally ever any point like either fight back against the curse itself or literally felt the need to move out. There's still those people who literally died, honestly. That we even know of anything like that. Like, it makes sense if we're going to go by that whole theory. Well, actually, literally the whole thing that actually breaks this theory for me is honestly just because I'm putting all my suspicion to Coach. Why the fuck was then the coach then, committed suicide and then, or was, or murdered to make it look like a suicide? Because we're going the whole theory of the parasite thing, and, that doesn't entirely make sense then. It doesn't really. We're going to go that whole rabbit hole then. Because Coach definitely lived in this whole town for a while, and we've not heard a single hide nor hair of him, having that kind of rebellious thing about the town. I thought that doesn't make any sense at all. So, no. I remember there's an article in the scrapbook saying that the demon's blood runs thickest in the three families. That would mean that they would have a larger amount of the parasite in them than the other villagers, and that they're under its control. That means I can't trust Rika or Mion. Keiichi, Sadako, I need help! The three families seem to be planning to bring the village back to the Onikafuchi era. Reviving the Watanagashi festival to the dam conflict can be interpreted as their desire to revive the faith that had started to fade away in the Beijing era. What kind of parasite also decides to psychologically just bring out old rituals and faith just to do all that? It's making it feel like the parasite is way more stronger than I think any doctor would actually know. The three families, especially the Sonozaki family, have a great influence over the region and public organizations. What's going on here? I thought this was to be a poorly written theory, but the pieces fit together, one to another. In your limited experience, yes. I'd never played a jigsaw puzzle as crazy as this. Well, are you putting the border pieces together, or are you haphazardly putting the center pieces together? Because if you don't have the border pieces, then you might be actually playing with the wrong puzzle piece from a different board entirely. I felt my brain swirling due to this absurd theory. A part of me thought this was ridiculous, another part of me thought I might be about to expose an unbelievable truth. When I tried to look into the center of it, I felt as if I was going to fall into the whirlpool and drown. I'll have to devote myself to reading more seriously then. There must be some truth to this. It caused misfortune and made my life miserable after I moved to Ibaraki. Might be able to find the truth, including the curse that caused my parents' divorce and my desperate behavior. Oh my good god. Right then, I heard a knock on the door all of a sudden, scaring me. So the big question honestly here is even though looking for the sound of it honestly, because I'm on that scrap of paper being mixed with a lot of memos, and even though I guess that's a big question. Did the daughters actually talk to Reina's dad, or did that conversation Reina and the dad have about marrying him after Reina moved out? Was that just literally their negotiation? Honestly, that's the big question. It seems to just pointing it was just pure negotiation, which makes things worse. Right then, I heard a knock on the door all of a sudden, scaring me. I had the scrapbooks under a cushion. Reina, you have a phone call. A phone call? This late? Who is it? It's from a bookstore. Did you order some books? Hi there, Oishi. They said they were Oishi-san from the Okonomiya bookstore. And it starts over from here. Oishi was the true parasite amongst it all. My good god. What a great old day it was. What a great night. I opened the windows. Oh, I opened the windows, but all they let in was heat and the cries of cicadas. It's too hot. It really is. It was a break time between classes, and we couldn't really get any rest. Mia and I leaned at our desks, exhausted by the heat. Younger kids sure are tough, considering how the heat wasn't bothering them at all. They're running around the classroom despite the temperature. Do schools in the city have air conditioning in their classrooms? No, they don't. That sounds like hell. Only the teacher's office gets to have air conditioning. Wow, no, this is tyranny. Revolutionizing the teachers. Really steal the air conditioning and put it in the classrooms. Revolutionize. Literally, band together. Raid the teacher's lounge. Steal everything. Revolution. No, they don't. Only the teacher's office gets to have air conditioning. Wow, that's better than nothing, though. If I were a student at school like that, I'd take the teacher and take over their office. See? I'm not the only one who has the great ideas here. See? Look at that. I'm not the only one with the great ideas. You'd be the first student ever to do that. Well, then all it takes is one person to raise the idea and actually call to action. You understand that? It's I didn't even have the energy to laugh. Stop. God damn it. Mia and I stopped talking and used our notebooks to fan ourselves. I looked at the empty seat nearby. It was Reina's. Reina didn't come to school today. Talk. She called and told Chi-sensei she couldn't come because she was sick. Reina seems to be feeling down these days. Yeah. She'd probably get tired from the heat. Do you really think that's the reason? Yeah. Why? I thought we agreed to never bring up about the certain incident in the mountains, right, Keiichi? Right? I think it's the incident. Maybe. It's probably both that and the summer heat. I can't even imagine how distressing it was for her to commit a murder. Just remember the bodies getting caught by her friends. We took each other's hands at that place, and we united. All of us believed that we had closed the case there, and had regained our peace. Well, apparently some of you are not reading the bulletin board, so... But was that as easy for Reina as it was for us? She must have not quite recovered yet. This old man thought she'd get over it if she played along with us. I guess her pain ran deeper than I thought. It's kind of worse than it's all coinciding with just Oishi appearing and just her reading Mio's thing. So she's now in a heightened state of paranoia, honestly. Even the same thing if it's really just I'm actually like now expecting them since Rain is even more, I guess, more. It's both oh good god, like actually more sharp, but also at the same time more vulnerable to everything. She doesn't have everything, all information, all that. It's making her believe in all this way too much, honestly, now. I think this is literally just gonna become worse than what the first installment was, honestly. Oh boy. I guess her pain ran deeper than I thought. What should we do to cheer her up? It's harder because they don't know anything about it unless someone noted wait, no, she was already sick before even the visitor thing came up, so they won't even associate with that. God damn it. It's best just to leave her alone, I think. Yay! That was the exact same reasoning that Rika gave in the second installment, and look how that turned out. Same way as in the first installment where it seemed like almost everyone stopped talking to Keiichi for a bit before it was practically too late. Hey, are you sure about that? We're friends, you know? I mean, this is not even a situation where someone's like, actively before Keiichi, suddenly started I'm just forgetting the whole thing now. Just well, like Mia and Reina presume Keiichi is a threat, but then started getting increasingly then more exacerbated to the fact that Keiichi now started responding in kind. So, I mean, it's not even a whole thing. Just like, God, I actually lost my train of thought there because I forgot about that for a bit. But, because in this scenario, like, it doesn't seem like it's not even a whole thing. Just one person's being like antagonizing to someone else. And that's why everyone like pulls back in a way. Like that's not what happens so far in conjunction with the first installment here. Like that one, pretty much everyone just grew antagonistic just because because of whole misunderstandings and not talking about anything. And here it's almost the exact opposite of we technically did talk things out, but now because because a whole bunch of coincidences of the whole murder thing and about the curse itself and all connected together. I should probably keep things silent, and I'll stew my own paranoia and spiral down and down and down, Uzumaki style. So yeah, are you sure about that? We're friends, you know. Well, it's like homesickness, you know. You get lonely, and you want to call home just to hear your mom's voice, but that actually makes your homesickness worse. When you're feeling lonely, the best thing to do is just devote yourself to sports or something like that for a change. I don't know exactly about that. I want her to do club activities with us, but she doesn't want to. I don't know about her, but people usually have a desire to depend on somebody. You want to depend on somebody who supports you and sympathizes with you. Haven't you ever experienced that feeling? You can't stop depending on somebody when they try to cheer you up? Well, I don't know. Yeah, that'll make sense psychologically speaking. Yeah. Completely depending on someone means trying to earn even deeper sympathy from them. That kind of... At that point, even though you're trying to comfort them, they just slip further and further into depression. My good God. Finding initial success through relying on someone and receiving comfort, they grow addicted to indulging in misfortune. This is a very weird take to have, honestly. I think Reina knows that too. That's why she wants to be alone right now. Yeah, but that same exact logic, she'd just be trying to isolate herself to grow even more depressive. Look, I did the fucking exact same thing. I decided to isolate myself, and that made things worse for me. That didn't help me at all. Ugh. If she wanted to depend on us or get comfort from us, all she had to do is to stay with us and cry all the time. I guess the even thing of the whole thing of people exactly don't want help. So how can you help someone if they don't want anything from you? Actually grow angry that you're trying so hard to help. It's also that whole situation to try to 3 all over again. So how can we cheer her up? Just maybe intrusively, but at the same time non-intrusively, just give over her hands of sympathy. I think she'd appreciate it more if you try to help her forget her pain than if you try to cheer her up. I don't know about that, because it actually worked like harder for me than to actually sit down and actually try to understand it more than anything else. Don't comfort her and don't cheer her up. There's nothing I can do, is there? I guess all you can do is apparently wait and see, apparently. It's like going to a psychologist, did you know? What? Mental trauma can only be healed by the person who has it. I believe that, but like to do it all by themselves? No, fuck that, honestly, entirely. Like, I completely agree with, like, they have to solve it in their own selves, but I'm pretty sure having them only try to work it all out by themselves, mostly sometimes makes it worse. Honestly, sometimes. Like, just imagine, like, apply that same exact thing to someone and, like, let's apply that same thing with what happened to in Sadako's case. Yeah, that's gonna help her so much there because she's doing it all by herself, right? She doesn't need anyone else to help her. Definitely not. No, no, it's literally just circumstances like this. All of this, honestly, but, like they're taking more lax approach because there's nothing they could see, which is entirely too bad. If someone else helps a person out of their mental trauma, even if they've succeeded, that person wouldn't be completely healed. So all we do now is wait until Reina heals on her own. I mean, I understand the idea, but I just don't like how cold it sounds. I clasped my hands behind the back of my head, looking at the ceiling. Mion laughed. We're gonna be fine as long as she has someone like you to worry about her. I'm sure she can pull herself together. So all I need to do is be close to her? I don't know about that. I don't know what exactly you're trying to say here. Like, you're saying at the same time, don't comfort her, at the same time, be close by to give comfort. It feels like you're like I think you mean just to be close, just when they ask for help and all that. But I guess the whole thing doesn't lend an ear. Oh boy, but then like it makes things worse, honestly, because they don't know that everything's gonna get worse because Rain is not talking. They can't even notice that, honestly, because everything tying to them is like both kept a secret because of like paranoia or literally just normal police confidentiality. Yay. It's the whole thing of like the first installment all over again because no one talks. Or it's literally the first installment's worse because people just like assume that you're just being a threat when technically you never even showed an ounce of that ever. There's something you can do, Keiichi. Rika-chan spoke up. I wonder how long she's been listening to her conversation every single waking second. What is it? You can listen to her when she wants to talk to somebody. Yeah, I thought that was literally what Mian was basically describing. Is that all? I just listen, I don't need to make her feel better? Yeah, mostly that's actually kind of like just having someone to vent to, honestly. Yeah, actually helped. That's like what I did with like some of my friends. I didn't ask them for, I guess, help in that way, but just someone to talk to and they understood, honestly. Keiichi, people feel better just by talking to somebody. Sometimes all they need is somebody who does nothing but listen quietly. Just like me said. I think it's important for us, as her friends, to be there for her whenever she wants to talk to somebody. Mian and Rika-chan were absolutely right. I was gonna pat Reina on her shoulder and tell her to cheer up when I saw her next, but now I know that would have been one side of my part. Reina doesn't want to feel down herself. She wants to cheer up if at all possible. If I cheered her up irresponsibly, she'd be very disappointed, because she'd think I didn't understand her pain. You're right. I guess I was even trying to understand how she felt. I want to cheer her up, but I now know that's just what I want to do, not what she wants me to do. Thanks, you two. I think I finally understand. Not everything, though. On that day, I thought I cheered her up, but I started to doubt if I had reached her heart. Might have just been dragging her someplace where I wanted her to go. I wasn't on her side in the real sense of the term. Well, then if that wasn't exactly support, then what was the best way to do? Just let her do the crime over herself, and you just oh, we saw a dead body. Let's just turn right around and not talk about this ever again. That's what. That's apparently the right way to do about that. No, no. All of a sudden, Rika-chan patted my head. Don't worry, we all know that you're on our side. What? What? Did I say something out loud again? It had reached your heart. Keiichi, you really did give her great strength that day. Well, now that I think about it, what you said in the day was more than a little theatrical. We heard footsteps in the hallway, and we're starting to head back to their desks. Take your seats, everyone. President, if you would. All rise! We didn't have a club meeting that day because Reina wasn't around. That worked out for me, because I had an errand to run. It wasn't a big errand. My mom wanted me to use her point card to get some detergent. Is this literally just the first installment, but the other way around? It's like Mia, like, no, not Mia, but Reina and Keiichi are now swapping places, and Keiichi actually overhears, technically speaking, the reverse, honestly. Of like, when like Keiichi was talking on the phone, Reina was just like listening, eavesdropping then, pretty much. Good God. I didn't see the point of going all the way to the store just to get detergent. My mom told me to go because she's busy helping my dad with his work. Yeah, apparently helping her draw all those certain special scenes, apparently, in those books, apparently. I started walking towards the shopping center. I noticed someone was watching me, hiding behind a distant tree. I wonder who would do such a mischievous thing. I started them to find out who it was, at which point they emerged. Oh, Reina. Are you feeling better now? I was to say that, but I swallowed the words. Somehow, Reina looks very serious. What's going on? Shh! She put her index finger to her lips, told me to be quiet, and looked around carefully, beckoned for me to come over. I had no idea what was going on, but I followed her instructions, shut my mouth, and ran to her. Reina gestured for me to squat down to hide in the shadow of the bush. I didn't know why I had to do that, but I could ask her the question later. I just followed her orders for now. Reina looked like she was making sure no one was following her. If it was Mion, she'd do something like this just to fool me, as a joke, but I know Reina doesn't do things like this for fun. I had no idea what kind of situation I got myself into. I could feel how tense it was, and I made myself as small as I could. Good. It's okay now. I'm sorry. The tone of her voice made me relax a little. Whew. What's going on? I think someone's been following me. What? Who would follow her? When I thought about it, I realized how stupid the question was. Is it the police? Rina Mamiya and Tepe Hojo. Two people disappeared. Even though they were awful human beings, the police had investigated if they found out they had gone missing. Well, obviously. It probably wouldn't be difficult to find out Rina had often been to Reina's house. I mean, if she, like, to the stand of actually. I don't think even the police actually know, because even from what we heard from, goddamn, I forgot his name still, Kai, I'm just gonna say that's his, I'm just gonna say, like, God damn it, I feel so sad I forgot his name right now, top of my head. I remember the last time I recorded, I know that for sure, but now I don't today. What is wrong with me? But at least, like, I'm, like, from the sound of it, even he doesn't even, like, even he, who is, like, you know, higher in the totem pole for the whole organization under crime stuff, didn't know where, she was going to, so, unless she told someone else, then but to the police, then yeah, but, like, from the sound of it, she was keeping it down low in the secret, just from how she phrased it everywhere. The only person she technically told it to was, the person who was part of the plan was Tepe, and, both of them are gone, so, unless, there's someone else she was very more, like, more of a confidant to her, then, I think we're fine. I think we are fine. As long as you don't find those bags, it should be okay. Don't worry, they'll find them later on, probably when everyone's dead and gone. I don't know if it's the police or not. I feel like someone's been watching me since the night of Wanton Nagashi. What do you mean? Once I asked that question, Rina stared directly at me with a blank expression. Her eyes looked as though they were evaluating me. She stared at me as if she was assessing whether I was worth talking to about something very important. Rina squeezed her own wrist tightly, then started talking in a whisper. I can tell what's going on, but can you keep it a secret? Yeah, of course I can. If you want to keep it a secret, I won't tell anybody else. Okay. I trust you. She smiled and looked around one more time. They might be looking for Mio-san's scrapbooks. Mio-san? Oh, the nurse, Takano-san? What about her scrapbooks? The police are keeping the investigation to wraps, so I'm sure you don't know. Mio Takano-san was murdered. At least this time it's like I'm not even just like she's actually telling someone else, like not even like not how inverse like Keiichi can bring it to anyone else. Because both every time he tried to broach the subject, everyone dismissed him. In fact, they wouldn't talk, but this time everyone's more united, so at least this is a bit different then. What? What? When? Show me be quiet again. I lowered my voice and let her continue. On the night of Watanagashi, we met Mio-san and Toмотaki-san, didn't we? They were attacked right after that. Toмотaki-san was cursed by Oshiro-sama. He cut his throat and died. Mio-san was burned to death in the mountains of Gifu Prefecture. Wait, hon, that's actually... No, actually, that is new. Okay, then, did the police actually not goddamn find it this time? What is different from this in the first installment? What is different? What is happening? Ah! Is that true? I mean, nobody told me about that. I know. That's because the police haven't disclosed their investigation. These cases make the fifth of a series of mysterious deaths. The police have decided not to go public yet. Or at all because of the last year, too, so... I see. I understand why the police are keeping quiet about it, but then, where did you hear this? Can you keep it a secret? I've been in contact with Oichi-san. He's a detective from the Okinomiya Police Department. He told me of the case. Why did he tell you? I don't know. He said he told me because he could trust me. I was dumbfounded to hear all this. No, probably it's because the same way how you looked at Keiichi, easiest way to get into the friend group and also be more vulnerable to get information from, honestly, so... But I'm pretty sure, like, the same way that Keiichi thought like, or she was using him, Reina would have the same thought eventually. Or if she doesn't, then makes things worse. But I knew she wasn't lying. If it was Mion, she'd be sticking her tongue out by now. But Reina wouldn't make a joke out of something like this. I think the reason why Mio-san was murdered is because of her research. Do you know she was doing ethnological research by studying the history of this village? I've heard something along those lines. Takano-san was interested in the cult and in mysterious things. Remember Mion once told me that she was studying the village's legends of man-eating demons out of curiosity. And actually, even like further thinking about that, it's like someone like saying it's like like if Mio like technically was the one who like killed Tomataki and all that's like it's implied in the third installment, then it kind of makes the whole I guess maggot thing a tiny bit even more just unbelievable to me. Maybe not even in a way of like I can't really logically disprove it, but just in a way of it's gut feeling, honestly. And so far, I usually am even though you can say that it has no reasoning, so don't believe it, honestly. But most of the time, like it feels like my first instinct is usually right, honestly. But you could say that for anyone who says the same thing, so don't take it in stride. But I might feel it in my goddamn bones. I can feel the bone marrow worming its way throughout my whole body, in all 206 bones. I think she discovered a very important secret about this village through her studies. I guess that explains maybe why they were targeted, both of them, the year. And it would line up exactly with why either Oishi or Kumagai, like from the fourth installment, like technically went missing as well. If they get too close, honestly. That would make sense. Or maybe she wasn't even close to truth, but they thought she was. Wait a second. What's the secret of this village you're talking about? I just read a few of her scrapbooks, but those are the ones that she was handling with extra caution. I think there are pretty important things written in them. I think I know about 80% of what Mio-san was trying to cover, but if it's true, it's almost too crazy to believe. And just like 80% of it, I think it is crazy. Right now, I'm trying to find out whether Mio-san's theory is right or not. So, what is it? What is the secret of this village? What could be so important that you might get killed just by knowing about it? Yay, information hazards. I gasped a moment with those words out of my mouth. If Reina told me, I might get killed too. Oh my good god, it's the second installment all over again! Ah! No! Ah! I don't want to tell you yet, but I promise I will once I verify things. Because it's really crazy. Too crazy to be true. What do you mean to verify things? How exactly do you plan to verify that? For example, I myself serve as verification that the maggot disease can occur without any background knowledge, but there are a lot of things I still need to verify. The maggot disease, is this technically the first time you brought this up to anyone in your friend group? It just sounds like Keiichi never even heard about this. What? Oh my god. They sound too crazy to be true, and I can hardly believe them if I don't verify that they are. Maggots? Exactly! I was totally lost now. I want to ask her some questions, but I decided not to cut in. It was so hot outside, and because it was so hot outside, I don't want to talk about this anymore. But Reina held her arms as if she was cold. Reina, I'm always on your side. You can trust me. Oh boy, just from the whole conversation that Mion and Rika had with Keiichi and it feels like now he's gonna do the whole thing of he's now conditioned to think just only listen, don't question anything. Yay! Thank you. I really appreciate it. From her expression alone, I could tell that she really meant it. I can also tell that she was involved in something very big, and that she felt lonely because she couldn't tell anybody else about it. I had to be on her side while she was going through a difficult time. You shouldn't tell anybody that you met me here today. They might try to hurt you if they found out. Okay. Isn't there anything you can do to help, though? Not right now. You're useless to me. Well, it's very reassuring that I can ask you for help when I need it. I'll depend on you someday. Yeah. Anytime. Shh! Someone coming! A car's coming! It's a white van! Reina pushed my head into the bush. Along with it and crouched down even lower in the bushes. So your face is just scratched up because of that sun push. We stayed quiet for a while. We could hear a car coming closer, and after a while, a white van passed by. Oh my god! They have the goddamn they have the goddamn just loud microphones like going across the entire van and the whole town. They know everything now. Ah, we're doomed. I was surprised they were hearing. She heard the car coming while it was still far off in the distance. Is this technically the only other time this whole entire series we actually seen anything about a white van? I think it actually is, honestly. Oh my good god. Besides anything in the first installment, good god. Did you see its license plate number? What? No, I'm sorry. I didn't. Couldn't either, but I think it's the same car I saw earlier. Are they the ones following you? I think so. It passed by me many times today on the street where nobody usually drives. I hit every time, but it's strange. Are they the ones? Okay, then. I'm not, like, it doesn't, Well, it's never, like, been brought up or focused on whenever, the second installment or the third installment took place, and, it was never brought up there was anyone following them in a van. No one is. Not even Keiichi and stuff like that. In the first installment, Keiichi did everything completely normally as he would have until, he learned about the whole curse itself in the town, and then started getting him, trailed down, even though he wasn't anywhere close to anything like that. Unless you could say that, somehow those people in the van, like, noticed that, he was trying to figure the curse out of Yashiro-sama, because that wouldn't even make any sense then, because wouldn't you immediately assume that, since he was an outsider and no one told him anything, then, maybe they did not notice that he was trying to figure things out, like, just trying to know the culture of this town? He's only been here for a month. What, you're gonna say that kid is actually someone who's meant to be a spy, actually? And they're slowly trying to whittle away at the village's secrets, apparently? Okay, then, yeah, those people are more insane, then. Are they the ones? Are they the ones who killed Takano-san and Tomataki-san? Are they looking for the scrapbooks you have? Most likely, yes. I don't blame her for not being able to believe what's going on, because this is really crazy. Takano-san uncovered something really significant through her studies. People want the information hidden found out about it, and they killed her in the night of Watanagashi, copying the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Okay, just from the sound of it, too, I'm assuming just Reina's not speaking a word of the scrapbook itself to Oishi either. They're looking for the scrapbooks in the fruits of her research, and Reina has them. That's why they're trying to kill Reina? What about your house? It's safe there. I hid the scrapbooks in my secret hideout at the garbage dump. I'm worried about my father, but he'll be fine because he really doesn't know anything. What, did you hide them even more thoroughly in your secret hideout, actually, so no one can actually just stumble upon, just like rifle through everything? It's something secret, like the secret car compartment in the roof of the car, actually. It's right in your face, Keiichi-kun. It says, I can't believe it because it sounds too crazy to be true, am I right? I want to deny it, but I felt bad to lie. I remained silent in the affirmative. Well, that's a normal reaction. I couldn't believe any of it when I read the first scrapbook. I finally started seeing the connections of reading all of them. I'm sorry. I do want to help you. I just don't know how if I don't see the whole picture of what's going on. If I tell you, it might put you in danger. You're already in danger, right? I don't mind. Don't worry about me. Okay. I'll tell you then. It's probably the three families that killed Mio-san, Tomataki-san. Oh, to be more specific, it's the Sonozaki family. Michan's family. Why? Okay, this is new. Whoa. Okay, this is cool. You know about the series of mysterious deaths, right? Of course. The traitors of the dam conflict die every year, right? The series of mysterious deaths is like a resolution of the dam conflict. They're trying to end the dam conflict in the true sense of the term by erasing people who betrayed the village. It does look like that in a way. Nobody really says it out loud, but everybody is suspicious that the Sonozaki family's behind it. That's what I've heard. But if they really wanted to raise the traitors, they wouldn't have to do it on the night of Watanagashi. Why don't they kill them all at once instead of killing them one by one? Using the curse and demoning them away every year. It's literally just they revel in the suffering and honestly that the paranoia, the whole town. Wouldn't it make more sense? Never heard the words demoning away before, but Reina clearly thought that they had some kind of creepy significant meaning, so decided to cut in. That means they're using the series of mysterious deaths in order to resurrect the sacredness of the Watanagashi festival. Step by step, they're reviving the sacred nature of Onikafuchi that was lost in the Meijing era. Their goal is to revive the level of belief in Oyashiro-sama that was used to exist in primitive times. Belief in Oyashiro-sama? You're talking about the Furude Shrine? Yes. Do you think people revere the Furude Shrine now? Other people respect the shrine, but that's it. Kids think of it as a place to play, and most of the villagers think of it as a place to gather for local events. The sacredness has been lost. With the dam conflict, it started to revive. I took it as a good opportunity to bring back the cult of Oyashiro-sama. So you're saying that some fanatical Oyashiro-sama worshippers are behind all this? It seems like it's pointing towards that right now. At the very least, actually, or even it just could be just some people like are trying to pretend to be worshippers. Literally just making a fake cult actually to of a thing in the area just to somehow, I guess, do things to their own benefit. Like there's some cults out there which the whole point of it is like just making a giant big lie and then either getting money out of it or like gifts and all that just to take advantage of the people who follow it. And I'm technically just weeding out anyone else who doesn't believe it just by either undermining them in some way, or I guess more extreme cases I'm killing them, so there's that too. That's what I'm saying. The cult of Oyashiro-sama was managed by the three families to begin with. The three families passed down their ultimate goal of reviving the cult of Oyashiro-sama down to the present generation. When you think about it, you understand why the three families took the initiative in uniting the villagers during the dam conflict. They might have set up the Onikafuchi Guardian's office in the Furude Shrine, setting Oyashiro-sama, who was almost forgotten at the time. So the three families, the fanatical Oyashiro-sama worshippers, orchestrated the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. Every time I say series of mysterious deaths, it almost feels like the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history to me now, by this point, my god. But wait, why would they kill Takano-san? Because she discovered the important secret of this village. The three families have been hiding it since the era of Onikafuchi. If that secret is revealed, the sacredness of Oyashiro-sama will be lost. They found out that Mio-sama was getting close to the secret, and that's why they killed her. It kind of lines up as well with what happened with the Richard Storehouse thing as well. Lines up. What's this important secret? I don't care if I put myself in danger. I need to know. I don't want to tell you yet. I'll tell you after I died. I don't want to tell you until I'm 100% sure about it. I'm pretty sure that right now, you just laugh. Hey, do you think I'm that kind of guy? I just need a little more time. I can't accept the truth myself because it sounds so impossible. So, I need some time. Please. Okay, I understand. Don't tell anybody about what we talked about today, okay? Not even me-chan, Rika-chan, or Sadako-chan. When Sadako-chan actually be the next best person to talk to about this, and not even just Keiichi, honestly. Okay. Well, you should go now. I'll take a look around for a while before I get home. Just gonna rifle around through the woods looking for any suspicious activity. I can't be too careful anymore. At least now, Keiichi, next time he sees the van, he might actually look for the license plate number, too. Reina ducked low in the bushes and moved away. I was left alone there. The cries of the cicadas surrounded around me, make it seem as if I was alone there the whole time. I started walking, still dumbfounded. In the end, Reina didn't tell me the secret because she was afraid of putting me in danger. But she told me clearly that there are people who want to resurrect the cult of Oyashiro-sama, technically it's already been happening this whole time. That they're among the 3 families that control the entire village. Or they could be part of the council. Or they're literally just being manipulated to be to their own agenda. They orchestrated the series of mysterious deaths for that purpose, and they killed Takano-san because she got too close to the secret they wanted to hide. Reina met Takano-san and happened to obtain the scrapbooks in which Takano-san wrote about her research. Reina still can't believe the secret written in the scrapbooks because it's just too crazy. Hey, come on, Reina. Kidding me, right? It's like one of those comic book stories. Mysterious occult group is plotting a conspiracy. I mean, it's not funny, even if it's a joke. But Reina's right about one thing. Even if this is true, it's really hard to believe. I understand why Reina wanted to wait to tell me the secret. Maybe she was just fooled by Takano-san. But Takano-san was murdered for real. So, is it also true that someone is following Reina, looking for the scrapbooks? How do they even know, like, that technically Reina and me, like, met up, honestly, and gave the notebooks over? Unless they actually were following me the entire time, honestly, and probably noted hey, that kid is around, let's follow them now. I guess that would just, I guess that would maybe kind of explain why they all started following Keiichi then, because they saw that Mio and Keiichi with Tomotaki were talking for a very long time in the riverfront at the festival. Maybe that's actually what why everything started going crazy afterwards, honestly, because of that. Even though they were just only telling me the curse and literally nothing else, just the basics of it, pure and simple. I remember Reina said that a white van was following her. You can see white vans anywhere. I bet there are a lot in this village alone. How do you know that? She might just be oversensitive to everything right now. Reina hasn't recovered from the shock since that day. Oh, because of that. Oh, good gosh. Okay, you're just not taking it that way. Good gosh. That's probably why she got the idea into her head that the police is someone else coming after her. I didn't cut in while she was talking. I think I did the right thing. If I had said that it was ridiculous or something to her face, Reina wouldn't have trusted me ever again. At that point, however, I gasped. A white van was parked on the side of the street. There we go. Now do you believe it? Now do you believe the guy did paranoia? Now, believe it, Keiichi. No one's in this village trustworthy. No one, not even yourself. The curse is actually infecting you. The maggots are already rising through your bloodstream. They're getting to your brain using hostile brain waves. They're making you think other different things. They're making sure your thoughts are actually tailored to their own agenda. Nothing is believable. Not at this point. Nothing. Not psychology, not biology. The curse, it could be a coincidence. It could be nothing. Or it's really just that, honestly, just nothing. Even if so many people died, it's just nothing after all this time. It's nothing. Honestly, it actually kind of be worse if I'm this actually seems like that's what the whole story seems almost implied, like that's its agenda, honestly. Just like you see a lot of different stories that be very dramatic or theatrical, but when this I guess when the ending becomes more mundane and anticlimactic, many people complain about it. But honestly, this story is in a unique position where by the end of it, all the mysteries can be boiled down to just letting something completely mundane, but it would still work because everyone was overthinking things, or literally because there's so many different things left in the darkness that everyone started becoming paranoid, paranoid about it. Even though it's a letter, it would still work. To the point that even if the tragedy of whatever happened was the most simplest thing ever, where in hindsight it all was the most mundane thing ever to everyone in their own lines and their own daily lives, they don't understand a lick of what's happening from where they are in the middle of it all. And that's actually kind of more terrifying. It actually lines up really well for psychological horror. A white van was parked on the side of the street. The bells are back! I wasn't sure if this was the same car that passed by earlier. I didn't see the plate number. But the number of the people in the car, the ambience of it was similar to the one earlier. And there's one other thing that looks suspicious about it. There was no reason to park here. It was on a small road in the middle of the woods. There's nothing around here. No traffic lights, no vending machines, no public phones. I probably wouldn't notice under ordinary circumstances, but I felt something was wrong. Once I noticed how odd it was definitely suspicious. There were 4 men in work uniforms in the white van. The driver was smoking a cigarette, but their men were just sitting there doing nothing. If they wanted to take a break or have a smoke, they could have chosen a better place than here. It was possible they stopped because they had to go to the bathroom really badly, but it didn't seem that way either. If all the seats are taken up and no one's out there, then yeah, even more weirder. They didn't even look as comfortable or relaxed like they would if they were taking a break. They looked like they were waiting for something to happen. There was a deep tension in the car. Could they possibly be waiting for Reina? No way. I didn't see anybody walking around here. This road is a back road. Nobody really uses this road, let alone by car. But it's impossible. I felt bad for Reina to even think about it, but this must be something that she got into her head because she's feeling victimized or something. She must be imagining things because she's still nervous from when her friends caught her in the act of killing Reina and Tepe. Hey, young man. Run! Stranger danger! Run! Flee for the hills, Keiichi! Right now! I heard somebody say that when I passed with the van. He couldn't mean me. He didn't even know who I was. My name is young man. My name is not Mr. Man. Get it right. So soon he was talking to one of the other people in the car. I pretended I didn't hear him. I kept walking by. And then he said it again. And honked the horn as well. Okay, then. Hey, young man. Excuse me. Are you on your way home from school? He had a strong accent similar to that of the older villagers. He must live here, but I didn't know him. And since you didn't mention anything familiar with any of the guys, then it's someone we not met before, technically speaking. Ooh. I could tell he didn't know me either because he didn't call me by name. Exactly. Yes, I am. You've been walking this road all the way from school, right? You turned that corner where the stationery store is, right? Yes. So they were probably lost, I thought. Take out your own atlas and abacus and all that. Just get your own compass out. I'm not here for all this, okay? Bye. I know GPS is probably not invented, but get it out for the future. Leave me alone. This village has many small turns. You can easily get lost when you try to take a shortcut. So they must have been waiting for someone to ask for directions. Immediately stopped that line of thinking. They parked in the middle of nowhere in the woods. It's another thing entirely if they looked around from some city for some store and like that, and then were going to ask for directions. But when they parked in the middle of the goddamn woods when they're lost and they're very tense and all that, and they seem to be getting lost and trying to find directions. Yeah, no, honestly, they weren't even saying anything either. It's not even an argument like that. Or you could say, their argument getting lost and all that, and afterwards, yeah, no, it doesn't line up too well. But then he said something disturbing. Young man, didn't you see a girl on the way here? No, run! Huh? What? A girl with a white hat and white clothes. With a purple ribbon on it? Did you see her? They're definitely talking about Reina. No, I didn't. I wasn't ready to hear them ask that. Rather, I was scared. That's why my voice got all shaky. Until that point, I couldn't believe Reina's story. I thought it was ridiculous. I actually laughed, if only to myself. That's why I wasn't ready at all. My heart was beating fast, and I was sweating all over. I immediately answered, no, I didn't, but... Might sound like an obvious lie. Yay. The driver stared into my eyes. I looked like he was trying to figure out if I was lying or not, and my legs started to shake. I felt like a frog in the glare of a snake, and I couldn't move a muscle for a while. I think the same went for those men, too. They were clearly a suspicious group, and they had just asked a villager about a girl out of the blue. Anyone would get suspicious. And I was right. Man broke the ice and started making excuses before I even asked him why he wanted to know about the girl. Well, I was asking for no particular reason. No particular reason? We just passed by a girl earlier, but you're a boy, so we're just wondering. What? Oh, okay. Please, forget it. Sorry for the trouble, young man. We're off. The man started the engine and drove away. License plate! License plate! After they left, I saw nothing. That's right. Nothing. There's no reason why they had to park here. So, were they really waiting for Reina? Yay. Well, those 4 people in the van are like complete strangers, so it's not anyone we know. Or maybe they're connected to someone we actually do know. So, ooh, lunch takeout list too. Oh yay! Oh boy, you're getting a whole entire special from everyone in the goddamn office. Then, yay! Mystery machine achievement. Be drawn further into conspiracy. Come on, gang, let's enter the mystery vehicle, the mystery van. Let's go. Come on, Scooby and the gang. Let's go solve this mystery together. Oh, good God. Furthermore, it's more important that we closely monitor her father. Since he has also suffered mental shock from the divorce, and been trying hard to take care of the patient, there's a strong possibility that he may develop an induced delusional disorder. What? As the first step of mental care, one should listen to the patient's story carefully without denying it. That's the most basic of basics. However, when the patient and the listener are related, it's easy for the listener to become deeply influenced by the patient's delusions. Additionally, delusions parasitosis is widely known to make people highly impressionable. The influence sometimes can spread throughout a whole community. Well, yeah, no, that completely makes sense because you're obviously going to be influenced by someone you care about and trust more. Obviously, of course you will. Like, if it's like a stranger, of course you like block it out, though. Additionally, delusional parasitosis is widely known to make people highly impressionable, and the influence sometimes can spread throughout a whole community. Therefore, even if several people claim to acquire a parasitic infection, doesn't necessarily prove the existence of a parasite. Some of the phone calls to the healthcare centers for the extermination of pests are nothing but a mass delusion. I like how just bringing up I brought up mass hysteria last time, and now it's like, oh, this whole chapter's all about it. God fucking damn it. Since the subject matter of the delusion in this case is extremely rabid, the patients might harm or even kill each other in abnormal ways, believing this to be the treatment for the disease. Might also give up hope and commit suicide together in the worst case. Yeah, that's basically just that's probably where the whole phrase about drinking the Kool-Aid came from cult activity stuff. Yay. Yay. That's why I haven't drank Kool-Aid ever since I was a kid. I honestly grew out the taste, honestly. No, there's nothing else, okay? This is not a goddamn, like, fish heads and worms, like, spaghetti thing I brought before. No, it's not that again. This influential delusional disorder, otherwise known as shared psychotic disorder, shows a particularly strong possibility of influencing close companions. Anyone who's going to contact the patients must be made to understand that the patients are under medical treatment, must be warned not to be influenced by the patient's delusions. Individuals who are likely to be easy influenced are the patient's family members and people who deeply care of the patients, such as boyfriends or girlfriends. I guess I can like lie into like why Coach is saying all that, but so like literally he he literally just disbelieved everything Keiichi literally just said just because he followed the code of ethics to the whole point. And then even when Keiichi like was like backing what he said, like saying detailed stuff apparently, like the Coach was then literally just saying oh no, he's insane, don't worry about it. Commit him already. Like, oh my good god. Like how like what would he do then if like Keiichi literally just said oh, I can prove it if you want to see it. Like what would he say then? No, we don't need to see that. He needs to go to the Gotham Asylum. Yeah, no. It lines up with what Coach did there, but at the same time, if Keiichi was like fully committed and believed in all that, and it really just sounded like he just like he could really just say like I can prove it. Let's go into the goddamn hole and all that. Yay. But since like by that point almost everyone was just going completely insane because of the curse and all that, yay. Yay. Yeah. There goes that apparently. It's a whole bunch of memos listed around that whole giant table and anything like that. Like, I think it's like the whole paper's not even meant to be talking about. Like, we already know, like, the side of Reina's dad is not gonna be, like, too important. Like, he's only just been, and I guess in a way, just a plot device, honestly. But, like, it's just there to, like, talk more about mass hysteria and just how, like, one person says can influence another. But honestly, just weird in itself. Like, all those notes are only there to slow more down, honestly, and just red herrings and stuff like that. But like after everything that happened in the first installment and everything like that, yeah, no, those people are very suspicious. It won't even make any sense from the whole shortcut thing, anything like that. So either like those people are strangers, like not even from the town, or they live there, but apparently they don't know who Keiichi is. Now that would make sense. It has to be strangers from the town itself. So it's at least someone outside the town looking in? Okay. Alright then. So that means technically if it's someone outside the village, then that means you can't really figure out who it is then, because at that point, the only people we technically met outside the village and you know, like technically know who they are, technically speaking, are people who are dead in this route, and technically speaking, already have ties to people inside the main cast. And since Reina doesn't know who those people are, and even Katie doesn't, maybe she got like grew affiliated with them or something like that from talking to the quote-unquote doctor from the first installment somehow. That just goes to another question of like why Reina decided to trust them after what Keiichi did, unless they like the whole conversation they were like really following what Keiichi and decided to plant that idea in everyone's heads, and that's why they grew onto their side. Honestly, which I think breezily think about if like that's who the whole doctor and director was. That's the whole group that came to the house and anything like that. Because even then, like they were going up to the door and started chasing Keiichi down afterwards. So it's not just that. It's not just that. And literally a note which no one else in the entire like place should know except for maybe any person who would know about to take note of the clock would be his parents. But by that point, like I don't even think his parents would even be home by that same night, unless they literally wiretapped his fucking like phone or something like that. But no, or just listening into him when he was talking to his parents when in the guy's dining room. That's literally the only time they spotted through the guy's window of his house, and they'd been stalking for him ever since the very beginning. Good God, that's the only way I could think of, honestly. It's literally just someone just spying on him this entire time through the window, just like just trying to eavesdrop or anything like that, or just their parents are somehow behind it, like inadvertently gave information over to some people. Because I guess it could be that too, because like even Keiichi's parents like mentioned before about him were actually like concerned about when Keiichi brought up if I die, can you please let my clock into my grave? They can honestly bring it to like some friends they made in the village or anyone else about that, and it could spread to them. But if it doesn't entirely line up because the sound of it those men don't really know him. Unless it's some weird double bluff thing of just oh, they don't know, like, we shouldn't pretend to, we shouldn't know who Keiichi is, because with all that, because, like, it's small town village culture, so it would make much sense if they, like, been around here for a while, so, I don't know. See my small explosive rant of biology, psychology, and coincidence, curse, and all that. Right again. Skip to the timestamp on the screen now. No. God damn it. Reference on your goddamn textbooks, apparently. Okay, then. Well, at least we're actually, like, learning more, like, it's getting a small taste, I guess, about those guys in the van, honestly. Like, that's actually the one thing we don't know a single thing about. And even if, like, they only, like, sprinkle in, like, more appearances to this whole entire chapter here, it's just interesting as stuff that I, like, teasing about entirely right here and there. If they never appear again, or, like, we only just, like... there has to be, like, some other time to actually discuss and all that, but even if they don't, like, come up reasonably, like, you know, in a significant way the rest of the chapter, it really just supports, honestly, that, like, that Keiichi and, Reina technically are being, you know, stalked and around and all that. Especially since Keiichi took a roundabout route on the first installment, but still that same exact fucking white van vehicle almost clipped him along the side of the road, almost hit him with a side mirror. It all makes sense. This thing tells me we're not gonna figure out who those people are, honestly, anytime soon. Way later on, but not anytime soon. But I guess we could see whatever way Reina can, like, validate all our theories and what Keiichi would do now that he's actually in on this goddamn paranoia everyone is out to get us scenario. Because we'll find out much more for next time. So, have a fun time watching as I am playing this. Hope to see you next time, what time that may be. And I hope you a fantastic day.